Palmer's car is trailing smoke, 367.8 at 205. Oh, Palmer's got a problem. The throttle is hung open. Scott Palmer is going off the end of this racetrack at a very, very high rate of speed as he enters the field down there, and that car is going to dig in and roll over hard. A multiple rollover crash for Scott Palmer. The machine coming to a rest on its side. The smoke trailing off the car. The throttle definitely hung open. Brutal.
It's terrible to see. Yeah, the car was trailing smoke the entire way. Not sure what was going on there. Then you saw as soon as through the chutes, throttle hung wide open, still here in the car.
There he is, folks. He's climbing out of the car. Yep. Scott Palmer's climbing out of the door of that race car. There is nothing left of that thing, and Scott Palmer is out of it, meaning physically out of the car.
Great to see. You just hate to see that for Scott Palmer. We just talked about this is probably the most beloved guy in the pits.
Yes.
A real racer's racer.
This is every racer's nightmare.
Yeah, the car left. It kind of dead hooked and bounced at the start, but we could see the smoke trailing from our vantage point back here. I don't know exactly what was going on there. At this point, we knew this was not good.
It is. Yeah, I mean, the fact that he got any sort of parachute out of this thing, and it went off the end of this racetrack as fast as anything. And as soon as I saw the rear end up that high, I thought, okay, it's going to go end over end. But no, it turned the side, and it rolled. I mean, it must have rolled half a dozen times or more.
And it was almost like there was no speed scrubbed off. Very little there. One parachute out. I think I saw the second one come out very late there, right before you hit the field here. We've seen that. We saw that from Scott Taylor earlier as well, with just one chute. There's Scott, Randy Lee, our starter, Don O'Neill from FloRacing.
You know, Scott's been through this before. Obviously, he had that horrendous crash in the nitro-powered Studebaker, and this has gone for him in a much better way than that one did, where he was pretty severely injured. But he is intact here. He's able to walk his way back to the safety trucks, and you can see how deep this thing went into the field. So let's watch again here from the top end of the racetrack. And again, this begins to become horrifying when you realize how fast this thing's going past the quarter mile with the throttle still open.
And it took a while for the chutes to get out.
It did. That bounce didn't help things either.
Yeah. And like you were talking about, what the speed that this car is traveling at there, the 8th mile speed that we see is a trap speed.
Yes.
So that's the average of that trap distance. These cars are going well over 200 when they cross the 8th mile, regardless. And then there's no telling what it was going as it hit that into the track and into the field.
And we can tell, I mean, you can see the front wheel. You notice things now when you see the replay. When it dug in the first time, it ripped the front suspension off. You can see, of course, one of the fire bottles gone. The entire front of the chassis is gone right up to the engine here.